Hey guys, it's Bree here from Bree Tech TV, brought to you by Apex Pro Technologies. We are taking a look at the Ventoy USB solution. This is the one USB solution to rule them all. So what is Ventoy USB? Well, if you aren't already familiar, it's an open source software that allows you to consolidate all of the bootable USB ISO files that you use occasionally and makes them bootable on simply one USB device. This is a great tool, especially for computer technicians or people in the IT industry, or just the occasional user who doesn't want to deal with a lot of USBs. Alright, so let's take a look at the solution and how to create the USB. This will probably be a two-part series, one for my Windows users and then one for my Linux users. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the installation of Ventoy. Of course, you can always check out the screenshots here so you can see some of the information that kind of tells you exactly what Ventoy does, what ISOs you can install. You've got Windows, you got Ubuntu, you got Fedora, you got CentOS, you got SUSE, you've got ESXi. Looks like you have Arch Linux as well. So if you click on downloads, click on the zip file, and then turn around and download the latest release, which also includes CentOS 9 Stream, you have the option here of downloading the zip. Once we have the zip installed, then we can go ahead and proceed to the instruction page. There's also some documentation here. You can also check out some of the security releases, the news, tested ISOs. Here's the distro watch that kind of shows you exactly what distros can be installed onto Ventoy. And then you also have the main page that gives you the get started instructional. And it's quite simple, really. You install Ventoy to the USB drive, download the installation package, decompress it, run the exe file, select the device, and then click install. So let's go ahead and get into that now and see how easy it is to install Ventoy. Alright, so we have our USB installed into our computer, and then here we have the Ventoy zip file. We're going to right click on that and click extract all. Once we click extract all, it should land here in our downloads folder, and you can see here in our file explorer we have the Ventoy file. So we have the exe file here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is run the exe file, click yes, and we're greeted with the option language, secure boot support, partition style. We really don't have to worry about none of this right now. There's also various languages. As you can see, they have a long list of languages that they support. And here is the PNY USB that I installed earlier. So it's 128 gigabytes, and if you want, you can also do a drop down to see any other devices, but basically Ventoy will list the USBs that you have. You can also use this refresh button if necessary to make sure that you have the USB showing up. So Ventoy in package 1.0.64, and what we're going to do is simply click install. So it says the device will be formatted and all the data will be lost. Continue. And the device will be formatted and all the data will be lost. Continue, double check. Once we click yes, it's going to go ahead and rename the file, rename the USB, and it will eventually show up as Ventoy. And as you can see here, it says congratulations, Ventoy has been successfully installed to the device. And you also have the option now to update the USB if necessary. At this point in time, we can go ahead and close this dialog box. And if we go to our This PC, we can see the Ventoy USB there. At this point in time now, we can drag and drop, or simply right-click, copy, and paste the ISO files that we would like to make bootable. So let's go ahead and start that up, and I'll show you the process of how it looks on the BIOS main screen of my ASRock motherboard. Alright, we are back with the installation of Ventoy USB. So after we've got everything installed, what we're going to do now is just basically take a couple of files. Here I have my VMware, ESXi installer, my TrueNAS, my Proxmox. I'm basically going to take these and I'm just going to drag them over to my Ventoy USB. And you can double click, open that, and then you can just drag them over. Or you can right click and then copy and then paste. Once that's done, all you pretty much have to do is just boot it up on your motherboard. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Alright, so we've got the USB inserted into the computer that we're going to install Proxmox on. So let's go ahead and look at some of the options that we have in the boot menu. So as you can see here, we got boot option 1, which is the USB, boot option 2, which is the Windows Boot Manager. And then if you scroll over to the exit, depending on the motherboard that you have, there's also an option for you to do a boot override. So if we click on boot override, we should be able to jump into the USB. So let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and save configuration, click yes. And as you can see here, we had the Ventoy. So then we have the options of Proxmox ISO, TrueNAS, and VMware. So let's go ahead and see if we can install Proxmox using this USB solution. So as you can see, Proxmox booted right up, and we can begin the process of installing Proxmox onto this desktop. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.